Welcome to Millionaire Mentor Session number 2. And in this module, I want to share with you the insights that I've discovered from one of my mentors called Dan Sullivan. Boom, there you go. That's a picture of me and him. And I've invested actually more than $35,000 with this mentor of mine. Once a year or twice a year, we go to Toronto to see him. His education has really changed my life. And the first time I was introduced to him, one of my mentors recommended that for me to scale to the next level, I gotta go and see this man who lives in Toronto or comes to London every now and then. And he has a unique ability of helping entrepreneurs transform their thinking, grow 10x, and get a lot more freedom. And back in the days, I was this 25, 26-year-old punk, always working, traveling around the world. And it was only after meeting Dan did I come to realize that there's actually frameworks for thinking. And before that, I come from an Asian family. Obviously, I'm a brown kid. If I went home to my parents and I told them, I met this 73-year-old man and he's going to teach me how to think better and he's charging $25,000, $35,000 a year, my parents would be really shocked and they'd think I'd lost my mind. But here's the crazy thing. This is one of my other mentors who's also had more than 40 years. Okay, that's literally 4 decades of entrepreneurial experience, wisdom, and expertise. That, in my opinion, by the way, is a genius. Okay, someone that's spent 10 years at their craft, you can say they're a genius. What do you call someone that spent 4 decades? And Dan Sullivan is one such person. And I want to share with you his 4C formula. Now, there's so many different frameworks that I've learned from him, but I want to give you the one that has really helped me. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because after training tens of thousands of customers and hundreds of thousands of subscribers, what I come to find is that people are procrastinating, they're not getting work done, they have lots of fear of failure or what other people are going to think of them, or they don't have the skills, they don't have the confidence or self-esteem. And this 4C formula, when I really got this, it really drove my momentum, and it still drives me till today. Okay, so I've been really fortunate for this. His programs are pretty expensive. I think the cheapest one is like 10 grand a year, and then it's 25, then it's $100,000, by the way. He does have some books. Now, I don't actually even know if these books are available to the public or if the books are just for him, just for his customers. But I'm sure you can go to Amazon and find some of his audio courses or something. Okay, if you look for it, you'll find it. And what the 4C's formula is, the first one is your commitment. The level of commitment that you have in your business, in your life towards achieving a goal. And he says that most people aren't clear on their commitment. And it's kind of like when I do events and I ask people, how many of you want to make $1 million? Everyone puts their hand up. And then I say, okay, how much is $1 million divided by 12? What does that work out to be each month? And people are like, they have no clue. And I'm like, and then how much do you want to make per day? To make $1 million a year, it's about $84,000 a month, which is only $2,700 per day. If you can do that for a year, you made yourself $1 million. I asked this question to many people, and their response to me is something along the lines of, they have no clue, they don't know. And when I tell them what it is, they say, oh, wow. And then I say, okay, how committed are you to achieving that goal? You don't even know how much that is per day. And if you don't even know how much that is per day, how on earth would you get there? It's like if you were the pilot of a plane and you just go on the plane and you're just like roaming around, well, you're just gonna be up in the air. You're just kind of gonna be like dilly-dally, and you're gonna see everything that's shiny and you're gonna be going towards it rather than starting at one point and then going to a destination. Is this making sense? I hope this is making sense to you. And so first you want to ground yourself in your commitment and get clarity on this. What is your mission? What is your vision? What are the values that you want in your business, in your life? What are the core drivers for you internally? Maybe you want to give back, you want to do more for your school, community, charity, whatever the case is, or if it's external. And I won't judge you, whatever drives you, go ahead, go all at it. Maybe it's a car, it's a fancy holidays, maybe it's a penthouse, whatever the case is. And so you want to get real clear, and then you want to make a firm commitment to yourself. Now, usually this is what happens. The bigger the commitment to yourself, the more fear that you're going to have. But through that fear, will come courage. Why? Because now you're not worried about all the small little things. Okay, if you have a big commitment to go out and achieve a big goal, you're not worried too much about how you're dressed for the day or the small things that would usually get under your skin. You know what I mean? It's like for me, I have such big goals and ambitions that I don't really care what people think of me or what they say about me or what they, somewhat I do care, but their caring and their feelings does not distract me from me achieving my goals. So the bigger the commitment, the bigger the courage, the bigger that you're gonna have that push that's gonna get you to go out there. I wanna tell you the difference between fear and courage. Fear is wetting your pants. Courage is doing what you're supposed to do with wet pants. Okay, keep that in mind because this is an absolutely crucial step in your growth formula. And anyone that has had massive success, you're gonna find one thing in common, that they've had to have courage to get there. And anyone that doesn't have success or they're not living that dream life that they know they're supposed to, or maybe that's you, whatever the case is, it's almost, you can sum it down to how much courage does he or she have. And what that courage then gives you is the ability to go out in the marketplace and learn new skills. Because at the end of the day, the more you learn, the more you earn. Everyone knows that. Here's something that I want to show you. The faster you learn, the faster you earn more. Get it? And what that then helps create is new capabilities. And when you have new capabilities, you almost become magnetic to the marketplace. You know, when I was back in 2009, when I started internet marketing, I had no clue about anything. I didn't even know anything about anything. I just saw people making money online and I wanted to travel around the world at the time. And so I said, okay, I'm just gonna go figure this stuff out. And then I learned how to do email marketing, how to do webinars, how to do video marketing like this, how to host events, how to build a team. And then I built it up to 55 staff members, and how to buy traffic, how to convert traffic, how to build an email list. And I built that over to 500,000 plus subscribers. So as I started learning all of these things and learning real quick and real fast, because I always invested into mentors and mentorship, what then happened was I started gaining this next level confidence and this unparalleled confidence in which I just became unstoppable. I know it kind of sounds like I'm talking about me, but I'm telling you this because that's how I feel. Like right now I feel absolutely unstoppable and I feel full of confidence. Why? Because I make commitments, I follow through, I've built a level of courage, and I have lots of new capabilities in my life that I didn't have 5-10 years ago. And that's what also builds the confidence. And what Dan Sullivan talks about, by the way, that's the 4C formula, okay? You wanna make sure that you write it down. If you feel stuck, you're stuck in one of those 4Cs. And when you can kind of go in and tweak in and then boost up the energy in each one and then identify, okay, you know what? I'm in the courage stage. What do I need to do to increase my level of taking action and reduce my fear? Or maybe you're in the confidence stage. So if you're in the confidence stage and you feel like, yes, this is you wanna go out in the marketplace, you wanna achieve XYZ. So if you feel like, oh, I've got all this confidence, well, okay, how big of a commitment can you make right now, right? Maybe your commitment was you want to retire or you want to pay off your debts, you want to start a business. Then it becomes, okay, now you want to help more people. Okay, after that, then you're like, okay, now I want to help this country. And then you want to go from national, you want to go global, right? So these 4 things have really stuck with me, the 4C formula. And Dan Sullivan talks about that an entrepreneur's level of success comes down to the key factor of how much confidence they have. Okay, and he says that the person that has the most confidence always wins. So what does that mean for you and I? It means that each and every single day that we must be working on our own self-esteem. We must be working on our own self-confidence, because the more confident that we are, the bigger the commitment that we can make to ourselves, to our family, to our goals, to our dreams, then we have more courage, because the bigger the commitment, the bigger the courage that you start having. From the courage, you start now developing new capabilities. You start asking yourself, okay, what do I need to do? For example, in my own business, I'm now learning, how do I build a team past 50, 60, 100 people? How do I build a team of 200-300 people over the next 3 to 5 years? So now that's a new capability I have to develop. And I know in 3 to 5 years time, I'm gonna have a lot more confidence than I have now when it comes to hiring, firing, negotiating, bringing on exec teams and growing the company to the next level. So ask yourself, what are the activities that you can do right now that will increase your capabilities, your courage, and your confidence levels? Okay, so that was the main big insight I wanted to share with you. Another thing I want to share with you, and this was when I went from London to Toronto to go and see him. You know, it was funny because we walked into the room and the first thing he said was, okay, write down your 25-year vision, okay? And me and my friend are looking at each other thinking, what is he talking about? Well, like, I'm trying to get through the next 5 months. So maybe the 5 years if we're pushing it. And he made everyone write out their 25-year vision. And I'm going to encourage you to think on this. And why is this important? And it's true. He says, as an entrepreneur, you put enormous amounts of pressure on yourself. You want to achieve all these big goals. And I know, like he's talking to me. And he says, what you want to do is you want to drag the goal out, maybe by 10 or 20 or 25 years. That's what he says. And when you drag it out, the stress and the day-to-day pressure kind of relieves off, and you're not operating from a place of scarcity, rather abundance. And this was probably one of the most profound things I've ever heard, because, you know, as entrepreneurs, we want to just go, get it. You know, my mantra in my company is speed and urgency wins the game. Everything with speed, everything with urgency, execution is everything. But as I'm maturing now into the next stages of being an entrepreneur, I can really see what he means by having a 25-year vision. You know, it's so cool because when I was at that event, sitting in this room with Dan Sullivan, with all these other entrepreneurs, there was literally a guy there called Chris who had the rights where his rockets were going into space, finding asteroids, landing on those asteroids, mining those asteroids for nutrients, and bringing them back down to Earth. That's the caliber of people that were in this room. And again, from our module 1, from Tony Robbins Insights, I talked about proximity is power. Imagine how much your mind expands when you're sitting next to a person like that. So I strongly recommend learning from Dan Sullivan. He's one of my absolute favorite coaches of all time. If you want to learn more about taking your business to the next level with getting a coach, there should be a link below for a Wealth Academy coaching call. See what we have for you, if it's right for you. I hope you enjoyed this session, and I'll see you in module 3. Bye for now.